So I know I haven't uploaded much Puyo stuff recently, but there's been the Puyo Global Ranking Series going on for a few months now, and it's approaching the end, and top two of the players outside of Japan get invited to Japan for the grand finals. And so the way it's going to work is you have to be top 12 in the ranking to participate in the final event, and then it's a 2-day event. So like the first day, the players from 5 to 12 play, and then four of them move on, and then they play the top four, and then you play down to two people, and the top two are the people who qualify for the grand finals. So it's been a really long series, and a lot of it is like just who participates in most of the events, but you kind of have to like participate in everything, or you have to like win the events or get top two essentially in the events you play. So, and if you can do both, you'll be at the top. But I kind of thought like to be like not to be mean or anything, I thought it would be hard to get enough people participating because I thought participation would kind of drop off over time. So like there were people at the beginning, but then it's like really tough just because the level of competition is so high, and then it's really frustrating for everyone at every level. So like if you're way at the bottom, then you're pretty much like going to like you're gonna lose almost. It's like the people way at the bottom will probably just go 0 and 2 every time almost. Or maybe they'll get one win and then lose two in the tournaments that are double elimination. And then if you're just above that, it's like, well, you might get a win or two, but you're probably never going to get much farther than that. And if you're above that, if you're like, then you think you're pretty good, but you'll like not get top two so often, even though you're like pretty good. And then even if you're like at the top, you're like one of the best, you'll just randomly lose a lot of times anyway, or you'll just have a few bad days. So it's like everyone at every level is like going to feel a lot of frustration with an event like this. So I thought that like, you know, everyone's just going to kind of stop playing in the event just because it's really tough and really frustrating. Like I've felt it, and I've seen a lot of people, a lot of other people feel it, and so it's like, but that actually hasn't happened. So I think that's really impressive. And not only that, I've seen a lot of people getting a lot better and just keeping up with it. So that's really cool. But I think there's only like 5 events left, so you get 1 point every time you participate in an event, and that's like 5 points if you get second and 10 points if you get first. But if the event has 32 people, then it's like a larger amount, so you get 2 points if you get third or fourth in a in an event of that size, and then you get 10 and 20 for second and first, I think. So So it's not entirely decided who will make top 12. Like, it's very close on the 12th spot. So if, like, one of these people just, like, doesn't play all the events, someone below them can just play all the remaining events and maybe catch up. And, like, WizKid could maybe get a second. Like, it's plausible. And then they could jump up into the 12th spot or 11th spot, maybe. AOD was really close today to making a big run. They could have jumped into the top 12. Some of these other people, maybe if they can win, like Riona might be able to win an event and could jump into the top 12. But regardless, I think I'm pretty safe at 8th. But the problem is that if I'm 8th, the way it works on the for the finals is so the person in fifth gets to choose their opponent, then the person in sixth gets to choose if they didn't get chosen. So the highest seed gets to choose their opponent, then the next highest seed gets to choose an opponent, all the way down. So it'd be like you'd expect five to choose like 12, 10, 11, 12. Six would choose probably 10 or 11. Seven would choose 10. And then I would have to play villain. So something important to note about these standings are that I would say Rick, um, Red, and Villain haven't really played in very many events, so they're kind of underseeded. So even though they haven't played in many events, they still have so many points because they do so well in the events they do play in. So, and even Akliv maybe Akliv has probably played in more, but also probably hasn't played in as many as some of the other people. So I would say Akliv, Rick, Red, and Villain are probably all like underrated here or don't have as many points as they could because they haven't been able to play in all the events. That's not to take anything away from Yoshi and Void, who are also really good, but I think those people specifically are not as high seated as the actual skill is. So that means that you don't want to face them, and if things like shape up as they are right now, it would most likely be me playing against Villain R, which is going to be really tough. But we'll see what happens. And then that's one way to look at it, but to be fair, there's no real easy way to the top two. So if you can't really beat, like if I'm not at the level to beat Villain R, then it's like I probably wasn't gonna make top two anyway. So obviously I'd have a better chance if I don't have to play Villain R in the first round on the first day, but that might be how it ends up. So for me, if I can like move up one spot in the rankings, that would be a really big deal because then I probably wouldn't have to play Villain R in the first round. Or if Villain R jumps up two spots to like seventh to where they get to pick an opponent too, that could also work for me, where then I don't have to play Villain R, but I'll probably have to play someone else who's like someone who's six or seven currently, which will be tough. But like I was saying, a lot of people have like I feel like Naru and Free Mecha have been making really good progress. And I don't know if they're at the level like I wouldn't say they're at the same level as some of the other players, but I'd say they've progressed enough to where they might be able to give themselves a chance against whoever they play against. So you can't really count them out. Even Anameru has been on a roll recently where it's like in the past they've been not really able to keep up with the top level players, but all of a sudden they're like really actually like winning events or getting second. They're getting a lot of points, so they could be in contention. But I'd say Akliv, Rick, Red, and Villain are the ones to watch. But Void and Yoshi have been pretty consistent and really strong too. Then next level down is probably Anameru, Hiku, and me, and then Naru, Ryder, and Free Mecha currently. But anything can happen. So, but as for myself, though, I feel like I've been going backwards, or I feel like both everyone else has been improving, and I've also been declining at the same time. So, like, it hasn't been going very well for me, but I've been playing in all events, so I'm keeping up in points, and I won one event, so that's why I'm like above the baseline for just participating in every event. But I feel like I haven't been playing well, and it's just like I can't do anything right. I think the hardest thing for me is how fast you have to make decisions. So like if I had a little bit more time to like while playing to like think things through and come up with ideas and like see what's gonna happen. I felt like I do a lot better, but as it is, you just have to like decide so quickly where you're gonna put your pieces, and if you hesitate at all, you're like at such a disadvantage that it doesn't matter if you like come up with a good idea or not. But um, it's also like tough. So I've been feeling all right. I think a lot of the problem that I had before was maybe due to rice intolerance. So if I eat rice at all, then I like feel bloated and tired and just in general don't feel good. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what it seems like. So I've been like avoiding rice and feeling a bit better. So in that sense, I feel all right, I think. But I haven't really felt like I want to play Puyo all the time. So, like, usually when I get really good at something, it's because I just have an inherent drive to want to do that thing all the time, like hours and hours, and I still want to keep doing that thing. I don't really feel like that with Puyo right now. So it's like I'm gonna play this series out and try my best to like make top two and qualify for the grand finals. But after that, I don't know if I'll like keep up with competitive Puyo as much. Like I'll have to see how I feel, but right now it's like I just don't enjoy playing it super competitively at the moment. It's like I enjoy the game, I can appreciate it, and I enjoy watching it and all that, but I don't have the drive to like play it all the time anymore, at least currently. But with that said, I'm still gonna like give myself a shot at the finals. So I'm coming up with a bunch of ideas and strategies and like new builds. And it's gonna take a lot of theory crafting and then a lot of practice so that I can execute it in an actual match. But I'm gonna keep a lot of the ideas kind of secret so that other people can't plan for it in advance too much and then see how it goes. So what I'm saying is I think I'll give myself a reasonable shot to beat anyone. I wouldn't consider myself the favorite, but I'm not gonna just like randomly lose. Like just lose without a fight. I mean, at least hopefully not. It might happen. Sometimes that happens, but I'm gonna like come up with my best plan. So I'd say for most of the series, my goal was to try and like level up my general skill. So like be able to build chains faster and build bigger chains more consistently. And like I said, that hasn't really gone very well. but but for the finals, I'm more gonna try and like plan out a single match. So like against a specific opponent, so I'll say like what can I do? Like it might not be a good long-term strategy or it might not necessarily be a good general strategy, but I'm gonna try and find a way to like do whatever it takes to win a round, win enough rounds to win the match against whoever I play against. So I'm gonna come up with ideas and try and like plan how do I think the other person's gonna play when they see what I do, how do I think they'll react, and how can I counter that, and how can I, if they do something different, how can I counter that, and like what do I think this person is bad at? How can I like take advantage of what the opponent is bad at? So I haven't really been doing that during the series. I've just been like playing a general strategy, but for the finals, I'm gonna try and bring something special. So I think like there'll be a reason to want to see it. Like in some of the matches up to now, it's been like I just haven't been playing very well. But maybe that's a good thing because sometimes I'll be like in really good form, playing really well, like a week or two before a big event, and then when the big event comes, I just play really poorly. So maybe I'll like go on an upswing for the finals and it'll work out. But I don't know. But like I said, I think I'll have a reasonable shot to beat anyone, even if I'm not necessarily a favorite. So, like, even if you look at the past results and see that a lot of them haven't been that good for me, I still think I'll give myself a chance. That's pretty much all I'll say about it. But since I'm keeping the strategy kind of like secret, I probably won't upload a lot of stuff about it until like after the event, after the global finals. So, and it's going to be at the end of November. So I think it's like November 29th and 30th. It's a 2 day event. So, should be a really exciting finals.